Introducing the Videotel Digital XEON system. This is our latest iteration of a digital system that we invented back in 2003. This one is more powerful, faster, more features, and it's about half the size. The way our system works is you load discs into the disc changer and our computers take over from there. We make a perfect streamable file. So we're getting rid of the previews and the commercials and the menus and all the behind the scenes that nobody wants to watch. Once that movie is prepared, you get a little green check mark on the DVD changer screen. Once that little check is there, then the video is streaming in the booths. So the days of holding that little handheld thing, going through all your DVD players, making sure they're playing and not stuck, those days are over. So for the customer experience, when he's in the booth, he puts $1 in and he gets the channel and time indication on the screen. From there, he can go up and down through the channels and he can use the volume control. But the unique thing about our system is you can fast forward and rewind any channel they're on at any time. Speaking of controlling the booths, we have a unique proprietary touch panel that we designed. This isn't like a normal panel that you have on your iPhone or on a tablet. This actually sits behind 1/4-inch protective tempered glass. So the days of stuck buttons and burned out light bulbs are over. So back to the system here. What we've learned at Videotel over the last 35 years is you live and die by your reputation. You have to make a system that's reliable. If you're selling 1 or 2 systems, it doesn't matter. But if you have thousands out there, you can't be getting thousands of calls a day. So they have to work all the time. So what we've done with this system and every system is we segregated things that aren't going to affect the booth operation. So the disc changer, if something happens to that, it's not going to affect the booth operation. The management computer, if something happens to that, it's not going to affect the booth operation. As for the processing server, this is a industrial server. This is the same thing that are being used in eBay and Google and PayPal and all the big server farms. What we've also done is we've created what's called a hot swappable drive. So if a hard drive fails in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, which it will, they all do, it's not going to affect your system. You're going to hear a beep, and all you have to do is you pull out this little latch, slide out the bad hard drive, slide in a new one, and you're good to go. Another nice thing about this is we have a very robust power supply on the bottom, so it protects us from surges. It also keeps the system running for about 15 minutes if you ever lose power. When power comes back on, the customer's credits are saved. So let's go over some of the features we have here. So right now it's on the DVD changer screen, and this is where you're going to change the movies. The nice thing about this system is it has the ability to sort movies in a best to worst category. So when you're going to change your movies, whether it's 5 a day or 10 twice a week or 20 a week, you can sort it by best to worst. So if you're changing movies, you obviously want to get rid of the worst movies, the ones that nobody's watching. It's really important to do this, and what you find is very interesting is after 3, 4, 5 months, the same movies are in there. There's no point in taking them out if people are still watching them. Another nice thing we have about the system is we have a category section. So here you can do a category such as, gay, straight, trans, whatever, or you can put the movie production place into it. So, Vixen, Vivid, whatever it is. Then when you look at your report, like let's say you look at your top 20 and you say, oh wow, these Vixen videos are doing really well. Let's order some more of those. So you have some nice reporting there. As for some of the other reports, we have income per booth. So pretty standard here. We have, tells you how much money you have in each booth, how much you have as a total. Once you clear that, it's gone forever. We also have an hourly income report. This will give you a total per hour and per day, so you can see what your busiest days are, what your busiest hours are. We also have some other reports that track when your clerks log in, when they log out, if you have an alarm, what booth the alarm went off, who cleared it, and then you have some system settings. So I'm going to go over some of these additional features that we have with our system. So let's say you want to decrease time as your booths get busier. So let's say you have 10 booths, and when 8 booths get busy, you want to decrease the time by 10%. You can do that. Let's say you want to charge a minimum just to use the booth. So $2, $5, whatever, you can do that. If you want to charge for the feature of using fast forward and rewind, you can charge a minimum for that. If you have a buddy glass and you want to decrease the time faster as that glass goes clear, you can do that. We also have a new pin system. This is where if you want to charge an admission to get into the back room, the customer would go to the counter, pay his $10, for example. The clerk would print out a little receipt. On that receipt, it has a pin code. Once they go into the booth, they enter that pin code, and all that time is put onto that booth. So if he's watching it for a minute or 5 minutes and he wants to move to another booth, he hits the stop play button and he can move to another booth and use it there. The other thing you can incorporate with this is a door entry system. So you can have the main door that goes into the arcade area with a control box. They have to enter the same pin and then it'll buzz them in the door. And you can set this to be 1 or 2 or 3 times per day. It's up to you. There's also a lot of little unique settings. You know, you can obviously control the time per dollar. You can show the display units, so a dollar is 400 units or 100 units, whatever it is. You can clear the time in a booth. You know, if somebody left earlier and you want to clear it out. You can send a dollar, like somebody says they, you know, lost a dollar in the bill acceptor. You can just send them one, and it all tracks that, you know, in the report, so you know who's doing what. So not only is the system extremely reliable, loaded with features, the customer loves it, but it's also very easy to install. When we ship a digital system, it comes like this. The rack is built, it's all pre-wired. All you have to do is screw the monitor on, lay the disk changer on here, slide in 2 computers. And on the back, you're going to connect all the wires, and every wire is labeled and every connection is labeled. So it's as simple as taking wire number 20 and sticking it in wire number 20 slot. Once you get this connected, you just power it on and start loading movies. The average time I hear it takes is about an hour. So give yourself an hour and a half. You don't need any technical ability. The only other thing you do is you connect the booths. So one thing about the booths is we basically have 2 components, the touch panel and the STB. We designed the STB, which is the booth electronics, with the booth environment in mind. We know it's very hot in there. It's very dirty. So we can't have anything that's going to overheat. We can't have spinning motors and hard drives. We can't have fans. So these STBs, we have almost 2,000 of them running in the field right now. And if we get 5 or 10 a year for repair, I would be surprised. Very reliable. All you do is you set this STB up, you hang it or you lay it on a shelf, and you connect an HDMI wire to a TV. Anyone can do that. You connect the power wire. Anyone can do that. You connect the touch panel, the alarm wire, the occupied wire. Anybody can do this. The system is incredibly easy to install. It's very reliable, and it's loaded with features. It's a perfect add-on to any arcade. So give us a call today and we'll get you upgraded.